Hello again, and welcome to episode 6 this time. This one we're going to be covering the aside tag. The aside tag is very similar to the previous episode where I covered the article tag, in that it doesn't do much in magically or in the back end. It is another tag that is used mostly for organizational purposes. This tag is actually really cool because it's designed for sidebars. Now, sidebars are kind of usually strange to do when you're doing web development. You're kind of battling with the idea of using a div with another div or a div inside of a content. So sometimes it can be strange on what your design is, how you're going to design it, and the aside kind of helps fix us conceptually. It helps the development go with more of a standardized approach. Like, we know that we can use an aside tag. And so here I've got the exact same article tag I had in the previous episode. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an aside to it, and then I'm going to do a little something fancy and kind of try to demo it a little more than I did the article tag, just for demonstration's sake. So what I'm going to do is start by popping out an aside tag here, and here I'm going to do something fairly simple. I'm just going to do a link to Google, and what I'm going to do after I make this link to Google is I'm going to put a style attribute inside. Now, normally you don't want to put CSS in a style attribute inside of a tag. You want your CSS in a completely separate CSS style sheet, but just to show you, I'm going to use this. So what I'm going to do is style equals, I'm going to do, let's do a border. We'll do border 1 pixel solid black, and then we'll float this left. Now, the aside tag, like I said, is similar to the article tag in that it doesn't do anything automatically. You don't just put an aside tag and you have a sidebar. It's more designed so that when you're making your website, you put your sidebar in an aside tag. So at least that's the common use. It's not limited to that, but I believe the HTML5 spec says something along the lines of any content that runs alongside another bit of content. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save this and show it, and you'll see that Google kind of spans there to the side. It's kind of not great without some height, so let's give it some height of 200 pixels, and then when we go back, you'll now see that it actually looks like a sidebar. And of course, if this was fully styled, you could make a very simple, very functional web page with just a couple tags, a few article tags, and a side tag, a header and a footer tag, and you've got yourself a very simple layout. Of course, there's going to need to be some kind of tweaks to get it to look right, but it's pretty easy to move on from there. And so I hope that helps you